Hello everyone and welcome back to Top 10 Evolution. Yeah, I know it's been a hot minute since I last posted a video, but nevertheless, we are back at it with 25 games you can play on the Xbox Series X at 120 FPS right now. Starting off this list with My Friend Pedro. My Friend Pedro is a platform shoot-'em-up indie game developed by Dead Toast Entertainment and Second Century Toys and published by Devolver Digital. My Friend Pedro was also released on Nintendo Switch, the PlayStation 4, the PC, the Xbox One, the Xbox Series X, and the PS5. My Friend Pedro was released on June 20th, 2019. Next up is Halo the Master Chief Collection. Halo the Master Chief Collection is a first-person shooter adventure fighting driving game developed by 343 Industries and published by the Xbox Game Studio. Halo the Master Chief Collection is also on the Xbox One, the PC, and the Xbox Series X. Halo the Master Chief Collection was first released for the Xbox One on November 11, 2014, then later to the PC in December 3rd, 2019, and even later on the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S on November 17th, 2022. Next up is Star Wars Squadrons. Star Wars Squadrons is a shooter space fight simulation space combat vehicular game developed by Motive Studios and published by the Electronic Arts. Star Wars Squadron was also released for the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, the PC, the Xbox Series X, and the PlayStation 5. Releasing on October 2nd, 2022 for the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and the PC, but later on December 3rd, 2022 for the next-gen consoles. Next up is Hollow Knight Voidheart Edition. Hollow Knight Voidheart Edition is a Metroidvania fighting hack and slasher action adventure game developed and published by Team Cherry. Hollow Knight was also released for the Xbox Series X, the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, the PlayStation 5, and the PC, released on February 24th, 2017. Next up is Devil May Cry 5. Devil May Cry 5 is a action-adventure shooter hack and slasher game developed and published by Capcom. Devil May Cry 5 was also released for the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X, and the PC, released on March 8, 2019. Next up is Knockout City. Knockout City is a multiplayer free-to-play action sports indie simulation game developed by Volant Studios and published by Electronic Arts. Knockout City was also released for Nintendo Switch, the PlayStation 4, the PC, the Xbox One, the PlayStation 5, and the Xbox Series X. Knockout City was released on May 21st, 2021. Next up is New Super Lucky Tales. New Super Lucky Tale is a single-player platform action-adventure game developed by Playful Studios and published by Microsoft Studios. New Super Lucky Tale can also be played on the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X, the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, the PC, and Nintendo Switch, released on November 8, 2019. Next up is Samurai Showdown. Samurai Showdown is a fighting action arcade game developed and published by SNK. Samurai Showdown can also be played on the PlayStation 4, the Xbox Series X, the Xbox One, the PC, the PS5, and the Nintendo Switch. Samurai Showdown was released on June 25th, 2019. Next up is OLLIOLLI World. OLLIOLLI World is a platformer indie sports skating simulation game developed by Roll7 and published by Private Division. OLLIOLLI World can be played on the Nintendo Switch, the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, the PC, the Xbox Series X, and the Xbox Series S, and the PlayStation 5, released on February 8, 2022. Next up is Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal is a first-person platform action-adventure shooter fighting survival game developed by ID. developed by ID Software and published by Bethesda Softworks. Doom Eternal can also be played on the PlayStation 4, the Nintendo Switch, the Xbox One, the Xbox Series X, the PlayStation 5, and the PC. Released on March 19, 2020. Next up is Dirt 5. Dirt 5 is a multiplayer sports racing simulation single-player game developed and published by Codemasters. Dirt 5 can also be played on the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, the Xbox Series X, the PC, and the PlayStation 5. Released on November 6, 2022, and later November 10, 2020 for the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series X. Next up is Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville. Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville is a third-person casual strategy shooter multiplayer game developed by PopCap Games and published by Electronic Arts. Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville can also be played on the Nintendo Switch, the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, the PC, the Xbox Series X, and the PlayStation 5. Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville was released on September 2nd, 2019. Next up is Ghostrunner. Ghostrunner is a platform action-adventure fighting hack-and-slash cyberpunk fast-paced post-apocalyptic game developed by One More Level, 3D Realms, Splitgate Ironworks, All-in-One Games, and published by 505 Games. Ghostrunner can also be played on the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5, the Nintendo Switch, the Xbox One, the Xbox Series X, and the PC. Ghostrunner was released on October 27, 2020. Next up is Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 is a first-person multiplayer, single-player, shooter, action-adventure game developed by DICE and published by Electronic Arts. Battlefield 4 can also be played on the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, the PC, the Xbox Series X, the Xbox Series S, the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, the PS5. Battlefield 4 was released on October 29, 2013. Next up is Battlefield Hardline. Battlefield Hardline is a first-person shooter, action-adventure, single-player, multiplayer tactical shooter game developed by Visceral Games and published by Electronic Arts. Battlefield Hardline is also on the PC, the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X, the Xbox One, the PS3, and the Xbox 360. Battlefield Hardline was released on March 17, 2015. Next up is Psychonauts 2. Psychonauts 2 is a platformer, action-adventure shooter fighting game developed by Double Fine and published by the Xbox Game Studio. Psychonauts 2 was released for the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, the PC, the Xbox Series X, and the Xbox Series S. The game was released on August 25, 2021. The game can be run at a native 1080p resolution at 120 FPS on the Xbox Series S. Next up is Overcooked 2. Overcooked 2 is a co-op cooking chef simulation game developed and published by Team 17. Overcooked 2 is also on the Nintendo Switch, the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5, the Xbox One, the PC, and the Xbox Series X, and was released on August 7, 2018. Next up is Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 is a first-person shooter, MMO, online fighting, single-player futuristic game developed by Respawn Entertainment and published by Electronic Arts. Titanfall 2 can also be played on the Xbox Series X, the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5, the Xbox One, and the PC. The game was released back on October 28, 2016. Titanfall 2 will run at a 120 FPS on the Xbox Series S. Next up is Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six Siege is an online tactical shooter strategy game developed and published by Ubisoft. Rainbow Six Siege was also released for the PlayStation 4, the PS5, the Xbox Series X, the PC, and the Xbox One. Now, the upgraded version of Rainbow Six Siege allowed the game to run at a 120 FPS on the Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S, and that version was released back on December 1st, 2021. Even though the game has been out for a much longer time, I think back in 2015 was the release date of this game, practically almost 7 years, if not already. Next up is a game that needs no introduction, Fortnite. Fortnite is a free-to-play battle royale online multiplayer shooter game developed and published by Epic Games. Fortnite was also released for the PC, the Xbox Series X, the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, the PS5, Nintendo Switch, and mobile. The game was released on July 25th, 2017 as an early access, but came out of early access on June 29th, 2020. The game can be played at 120 FPS at 1080p on the Xbox Series X. Next up is Second Extinction. Second Extinction is a upcoming first-person shooter, action hack and slasher survival game developed and published by Systematic Reaction. Second Extinction will also be releasing for the Xbox Series X and the Xbox One and the PC. The game was released back on April 28, 2021 for the Xbox as early access. The full version of the game will be released sometime in November 2022. And on release, the game will support 120 FPS on the Xbox Series X and the Series S. Next up is Overwatch 2. Overwatch 2 is a first-person shooter, online multiplayer PvP free-to-play game developed and published by Blizzard Entertainment. Overwatch 2 was released for the PlayStation 4, the Xbox Series X, the Xbox Series S, the PlayStation 5, the PC, Nintendo Switch, and the Xbox One. Overwatch 2 was released on October 4th, 2022 and can play at 120 FPS on Xbox Series X, given to be playing at a lower resolution. Next up is Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite is a first-person shooter, free-to-play, adventure action game developed by 343 Industries and published by the Xbox Game Studio. Halo Infinite was also released for the Xbox Series X, the PC, and the Xbox One. Halo Infinite was released on December 8, 2021. Halo Infinite can currently be played at a 1080p 120 FPS mode on the Xbox Series X to get the smoothest gameplay. Next up is Call of Duty Warzone. Call of Duty Warzone is a first-person shooter, online multiplayer battle royale free-to-play game developed by Infinity Ward and Raven Software and is published by Activision. Warzone was also released for the PC, the Xbox Series X, the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5, and the Xbox One. The game was released on March 10, 2020, and it's pretty much one of the biggest mainstream games to play right now. Well, that's it for the video. I hope you all do enjoy this one, and definitely go ahead and leave a like and subscribe and leave your thoughts in the comment. Until next time, peace out and stay safe.